We absolutely love St. Lucia, and we're happy to be joined by our friend Karen Girodano, Director of Sales from Viceroy Sugar Beach. In the next few minutes, we're going to review why we love the island so much and why you should consider Viceroy Sugar Beach for your next luxury vacation. Karen, thanks so much for joining us. One of the things about St. Lucia is that it's full of activities and adventures for families and couples. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that people might be able to enjoy right outside of your hotel?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me today. Love St. Lucia. It's a very active Caribbean island. It's not like some of my neighbors. So if you think of us more along the lines of Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, landed in the Caribbean Sea. We are 3 hours from Miami, 5.5 from New York on direct flights, but we are your tropical rainforest. So a zip line tour, an aerial tram, an ATV tour, a hike through the rainforest. You can climb Petit Piton. You can go scuba diving. You can go snorkeling. You can take a day boat, a sailboat ride for sunset sail to watch the sunset over in the Caribbean Sea. Really anything except for skiing. So we've got a lot of varieties. Amazing airlift, both private and commercial, coming into the island. Private, we have a brand new air terminal just for the private charters, as well as VIP services. So that means you skip all of the lines for immigrations, customs, as well as the health screening right now. So it's an amazing way to get right on your way to the resort. It's a land transfer that takes about 35 to 45 minutes. If you want to stop for a cold piton beer or to take pictures or to check out the wildlife, St. Lucia is indigenous to our local parrot and several other birds on island. So for the bird aficionados, it's a great place to come and look for your parrots. There's always hummingbirds through the resort, sampling the nectar and all the fruits that, go through the resort. So you never know what you're going to see for nature in the island. It's absolutely spectacular.
And one of the really cool things, kind of like what you were saying, is that what's great about the location of Sugar Beach is that all of the things that you mentioned are just minutes away. So you're not transferring a half hour, 45 minutes. It's just literally a couple miles away from the doorstep.
We're very spoiled in that I think every single activity except for two are within 10 or 15 minutes of our resort. The coolest activity that I think we offer on the island, that I personally feel, is you can go spearfishing to capture the lionfish, which are predators to the coral reefs, which absolutely blossomed through COVID because there was not any marine life. There was no fishing. There was no cruise ships coming through. So there wasn't any activity to kind of ward them off. So now you can get your own spearfishing certificate and you can go out into the ocean, into the sea with our dive team and capture your own lionfish for dinner. If that's a little much, how about a night snorkel? We send you out with a flashlight at sunset to go snorkeling in the cove as well. So,
and I think you mentioned, the water activities are amazing, but you mentioned hiking up the Pitons, and I think this is one of the key features and why you're so unique is because you're kind of nestled between the two Pitons, and this is kind of the hike, the view from the hike.
Yes, this is the view from the hike. If you make it all the way up, which that is actually half of our sales team, I skipped that day. But if you stand on the rock, you can see the cove right where we sit. So it's a spectacular way to kind of celebrate that you're there. You're in St. Lucia, you've made it to Sugar Beach, and most of the guides give you one of our local Piton beers when you've made it to the top of the Piton Mountain as well. So
yeah, it's what, like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours each way, correct, from the resort?
2 hours up, 2 hours down. So it's a quick hike. It's not an easy hike by any means. It's definitely not for the weak of heart. There's not a pretty guided trail with pit stops and restrooms. It's a mountainous hike, but it's a great experience.
And this view really kind of dictates why this resort is so special and memorable. It's just this unique location in between a UNESCO site, between the two Pitons, and this is kind of the resort. Just nestled between the two Pitons, just a wonderful, I think it's 100 acres in the rainforest, correct?
Yes. We are 100-acre rainforest. So yes, it reminds me of Winnie the Pooh in the 100-acre forest. But we literally go from the curve of the cove of this Caribbean Sea up to the crest of the hill line. So all of our accommodations have views to the rainforest, views to the Piton Mountains. Depending on how much our rainforest grows in a year, we have a lot of rooms that do have that unexpected surprise water view. as well as every room has their own personal plunge pool and butler service. So you never have to leave. It's an amazing little oasis right in your own little spot.
And you guys went through a major renovation last year. It's always been an amazing place, but you spent another several $1,000,000. Tell us a little bit about some of the renovations and improvements that occurred in the last, I don't know, maybe 12 months.
So yes, we did. It was kind of exciting. For the first time in a hotel, we actually, that I've worked in, we closed our doors, so there were no guests affected by our renovations, and we redid 3 of our restaurants. So our Bayside restaurant, our Jalusi Bar and Grill, we renovated our Great Room restaurant. We added a grab and go coffee shop. We added more guest rooms. We evened out our backyard lawn. So now we have a stage event lawn. So we actually had blow up TV screens on both levels for the Super Bowl party. So you're outside. We renovated our fitness center, got all brand new equipment. So now you're in the likes of the Life Fitness, as well as new Peloton bikes and treadmills. So it's a great experience. We've also added some new room inventory and changed some of our room decor. But my favorite is that we actually put cabanas on the pool deck. We didn't have any before, so the pool deck was kind of quiet. Now we've got cabanas, 2 separate beach areas for everybody to enjoy. So there's always room for somebody at either beach or the pool deck. So if you want to be front row, of course, yes, you're going to have to get up early. But the great news is we only have 3 rows of lounge chairs. So you're not that far from the front row. I've been at other resorts where you're in row 7. So it's great opportunity. Everybody can spread out. You're not on top of each other. Physically distancing was easy for us when we reopened our doors during all of this.
And what's really great about the layout, you have the way the resort's really laid out is because it's up on the hill. You have all these rooms with lots of privacy that we'll get into in a few seconds. But the resort life really is all central down here. But there's so much space that you feel like you're not on top of each other. And I love that the pool is next to the beach for those families, or especially intergenerational families, where Nana and Grandpa can be in the middle, and some kids could be at the pool and some at the beach. So it's a great layout for family time.
Yes, exactly. And if you have some of those adults that don't want to be with the kids, we have that second beach area located by our residents, and it isn't adults only, but it's adult focused and family friendly. So,
and I mean, going back, we've kind of talked a little bit about families, but I mean, this is a huge, honeymoon destination as well, and great for couples. Once you know that there's not a vacation week in the Northeast or anywhere else, this is just a beautiful place to go.
Absolutely. And you were spot on. We have children during the high holidays and summer break, but other than that, it's usually mostly all couples.
Yeah. And I think one of the reasons kind of this is a good segue is because tell us, because your rooms, there's so much privacy. There's these beautiful, views of the Pitons of the ocean. Let's walk through some of the categories and some of the differences that maybe would help people choose the right room category when they visit you.
So we are a king bedded resort. All of the accommodations are 1 king size bed. So if you are traveling with older children, little children, extra families, we have larger villas that have an extra living room, they have a sleeper sofa, there's room for a rollaway, but we also have larger residences. So we will get to those later, but those are absolutely spectacular. And they're not just for families. This is actually one of the new room categories we added last summer, and it's our new deluxe cottage. So whole brand new look and feel, but a fantastic outdoor area, a sun lounger, and they are higher up in the hillside. So what you can't see behind that sun lounger is you actually can see the Caribbean Sea behind it, which is really nice.
Beautiful. And I think one of the things to consider is, the resort is built on the hill, but there's a golf, you can definitely walk back and forth for your exercise, which is very challenging. But golf carts are just going all the time around. So it's 2 or 3 minutes will take you from the top of the resort down to the beach to the pool.
Yep, absolutely. We have transportation running on demand. And when you check in, you're actually given a small older cell phone that rings right to Butler Central. So Butler Central will order your transportation, whatever you'd like for that day. You've got one-stop shop for anything you need.
And do most of the rooms come with like a plunge pool, or certain categories only come up with a plunge pool?
Yep. Every single accommodation has a plunge pool. So
Got
you're
it.
not missing out with if you take a Sugar Mill guest room or up to the beachfront collection. This is also one of our newer beachfront bungalows. So this is our Grand Beach bungalow. We expanded the size of these and just kind of retweaked the inner workings so that now that they have comfortable seating inside and outside. And as you can see, you're literally steps to the water's edge. So if you're up early for coffee in the morning, it's a great place to sit, watch the fishermen come in, they get their morning catch, and off they go.
And when we were there last, before the renovation, we did stay we've stayed up in the hill and down on the beach. And being down by the beach was just as fantastic as up in the hill. It's very quiet and serene in the morning and the afternoon. There's nobody there. You just kind of go on and you walk into the sand. So it's just a great option to be on the beach. And you're literally steps from the water. I think maybe 15 yards from our terrace, and that you were in the ocean, which doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And I think then you mentioned that there was you've expanded the residences. And so tell us a little bit about, the size and some of the features. I think they're all a little bit different.
They are. So we expanded in the residences, and we have anywhere from 1 to 4 bedrooms. Everybody has, again, the king size beds. Every bedroom has its own master. Every residence has a full gourmet kitchen, indoor, outdoor dining, covered patio, fantastic pool. The bigger the residence, the bigger the pool. And the original collection, which is the cute white gingerbread cottage, the pool runs horizontal with the building. So you've got this massive long pool deck, great space to sit out, outside dining. And then we added 3 more of our beachfront collection, and they are almost 5,000 square feet of living space. And they are only 4 bedrooms, but they also have a loft. So we can squeeze a couple more little children in the loft. But they got smart and they actually turned the pool so it was perpendicular to the building. So there's a great outdoor patio area. There's 2 grass areas, outdoor dining. The chefs will come in and cook dinner for you, or we will stock your pantry for you. But they're just a great footprint. And all 3 of these have direct access to the beach below and right to the pier bar and grill. So you're closer to that water spot and all of those activities on that side of the beach as well.
And again, throughout the presentation, we've seen the Pitons. And one of the things that I have to say is that the picture does not do it justice. When you are there and you're swimming, like these are cliffs that go straight into the water. When you're swimming there and you're nestled in between the Pitons, it's just a really unique location. And it's just one of a kind location. So that's one of the things I have to really, kind of concentrate on and kind of mention as well. So, and one of the great features too, that you guys were able to, we've still got one more of the residences, but the, the artwork. And you have one of the greatest collections, the art collections that we've seen out in the Caribbean, constantly adding new pieces.
It's been absolutely so much fun. Every time I go back to the resort, we've added the sculpture that this is bronze. We have My Melody that's literally sitting in the remnants of the original sugar mill that was on that plantation. And then the ball sculpture is called This Is Water. And when you're standing in front of it, I had to get away from it because I was in my gym clothes that morning working out. But you can get a picture of yourself and both pitons in the reflection, which is absolutely spectacular. I mean, the pitons, they're beautiful. They never change. And yet every time we go, I find myself taking more pictures. But what's great is because we sit right at that marine shelf, as tall as the pitons are high, is as deep as the water is outside of the resort. So for diving and snorkeling, it's absolutely spectacular. We've got one of the better dive spots on island that we don't really tell everybody about because we don't want everybody else diving in our cove. So it's pretty spectacular. And we're fortunate that we also have the only white sugar sand beach in the entire island. We are a volcanic island. The sand gets hot when you forget about that, but we have our own white sugar sand beach. So being a former sugar plantation, we felt it was prudent to have the beach match. Yeah. So it's a lot cooler to the touch while you're on the sand.
It is a beautiful, beautiful beach. And one of the things that after a day out on the beach, or if you did some activities or hiking, the way that you guys incorporated the spa into the rainforest, into the resort, is really is one of a kind as well. Tell us a little bit about the treatment rooms, and maybe if there's any signature treatments that maybe people should consider.
So all of our treatment rooms are treehouse huts. So while you're in there, you can actually hear the water babbling down the hillside. And we actually have our own mineral plunge pool. We capture the mineral water running down the hill. So you can do different treatments. But two of the best treatments, we do a coconut infusion, which they use the coconut oil and the coconut milk from one of the local farmers in town, as well as we have a chocolate treatment. So we take bean to bar to a different concept. So it's more of your cocoa beans to the spa, and then back to the lounge for a chocolate martini. But we also, my favorite is that we have a whole immersion that we will do. It's a 4-hour experience, and the therapist goes with you to the sulfur springs and the mud baths. And you start with the mud treatment in the sulfur springs, and then come back to the resort. Of course, while you're out doing that, mom and dad have other things to do with the kids. We have a great kids club, our own fitness team. So if you want to do private yoga or any of the new equipment, so if you want to have a Peloton cycle challenge with our team, they'll be in the gym to meet you with that as well.
And I think one of the great things is having that sulfur springs, and even a lot of the cocoa plantations are again outdoor, just steps away from the hotel. So that's got to be very cool as well. And I think the last thing we got to just kind of touch on, you mentioned some of the renovations to the restaurants. When I was there, again, it was maybe 4 years ago. We couldn't get enough fresh fish, and then you had like a ceviche bar in one of the restaurants, and thought it was great. Walk us through some of the dining options that you guys have.
So those were just a few other samples of what we did during our renovations. Yeah. So while we were closed, we also brought in a brand new culinary team, much more farm to table, ocean to table. So this is our Bayside restaurant that is it used to be closest to the sand or to the shoreline. Now we have two. But it's more of your full meals, full service dining. It's open for breakfast and lunch. You've got your own bar area, which also is closer to the pool. So while you're sitting at the pool, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump if you want to walk over to lunch or to grab a cocktail. Of course, we have servers, but we found it to be, once we put that bar in, the restaurant is busier and busier. So it's a great addition. That one has more seating in the sand. And then the great room is actually in the main house. And this used to be it was called the Great Hall, and it had opened floor to ceiling shutters, but you didn't have an open wall. So we literally took out that entire wall, put in sliding glass doors, who brought the inside out or the outside in, however you want to look at it. Yeah. Seamless views to the water. So if you are on the backside, there's actually a mirror and you can look out and see the water behind you. But we put in a brand new cocktail lounge. So our Palm Court Lounge has entertainment during the week. Absolutely spectacular. And our busiest restaurant since all of these additions, of course, is our Jealousy Grill, which is your toes in the sand right at the water's edge, closest to the dive shop. We do a Friday night fish barbecue because they don't have them in town anymore like they used to. So we have our own Friday night barbecue. And we also have a Follow the Spice Trail. So it's all the authentic indigenous Creole foods and different items that are natural to the Caribbean. And my favorite that we perfected while we were closed was our chocolate and rum tasting class. We now have our own cask of our own Saint Lucia rum. So you can sample and have your own rum flight while you're sitting in the Cane Lounge having sushi and ceviche.
That's beautiful. Again, it's a very special island. Has so much to offer. And Sugar Beach is, unique. And one of the places that I definitely would put in somebody's bucket list if they love to go to luxury resorts and kind of get away and recharge. You guys really offer it all, and every time a client comes back, they can't stop singing your praises. And we love our partnership with Virtuoso, with you guys. We love our amenities and our partnership. Having you as a resource for our clients is always invaluable. So we always appreciate that partnership. Kind of with that said, we appreciate your time, Karen, and giving us a review and a summary of some of the great things about the resort. And we will be looking forward to working with you with the clients in the coming days.
Fantastic. We look forward to welcoming your guests soon.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.